Hey everybody, this is take two of this video. I had it almost completed when my wife called. I tried to ignore the call on my phone, but my son picked it up on the tablet because it was a video call and ran into the room. So this is our second attempt to make this video. Obviously, we had another good week last week, not as good as some, but we were still 3-2 and up 3.1 units, which is great. On the season, we are 17-5, up 21.34 units, which is dynamite. As I warn you guys every week, what comes up will come down. So don't go crazy on anything. I'm certainly not a guru or anything. I have a math model that I created. And this year it has been very successful for me. But pro sports are unpredictable. There will be bad weeks. I will have a slump. And yeah, so don't go crazy. Keep along the same system. And make sure you're doing it, make sure you're doing it that way, and then you'll be successful. I want to thank the people who watch me regularly. There's probably about 50 guys who watch every single video. I hope y'all are tailing, and I hope you're doing really well with that. And for any of the visitors, it's been a great start, but again, don't go crazy. I warn everybody every week. You'll go through ups, you'll go through downs. Having 5 winning weeks in a row to start the season obviously is awesome, but when I have 3 losing weeks in a row and I lose 11 units, you'll understand why we don't ever go crazy in 1 week. But it's a nice start. It's a nice start to have, and hopefully we will continue it as long as we can. The reason I'm posting so early this week is because I do have a play on tonight's game. I am taking the Eagles +7. I think there's a bunch of reasons. I think Levante David being out is huge for me because I really like him. The Brady injury isn't super concerning, but I think he might be a little more passive. And I think the Eagles are a team that likes to fight. They work hard. They try to fight to stay in every game. I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to have a ton of success running the ball, but I mean he might have some bootleg opportunities to move a little bit because that's obviously it's a different setup than rushing the ball. But I just think 7's a lot. I had it at 5.5. Really, it should be a 2-unit play, but it's only a 1-unit play. When you have a 1.5, you should make it for me, I would normally make it a 2-unit play. But I didn't just because of the Tom Brady factor, and in the sense that Tom Brady's the kind of guy who doesn't like to take his foot off the gas or take his foot off your throat. He likes to win games by 21 points. He likes to keep going. I don't think that's going to happen tonight. So, for me, the Eagles are the play +7. And where did I get? You can get it at -114 at Pinnacle. There's a bunch of 6.5s showing up. So my recommendation would be to jump on that -114 at Pinnacle if you want the 7, because that was the best number I could find to still get 7. Other than that, I made a play earlier this week. If you follow me on Twitter, you saw it. If you don't, my Twitter handle is @CPT_handsome. That's @Captain Handsome for obvious reasons. So I took the Bengals -3. It was at 365 was the only one of 2 books still offering 3, and I wanted to get it before I lost the hook completely. So I got it at -117. That number is gone. I can't find a 3 anywhere, but I did lock in that play on Twitter for 2 units. I think the Bengals are going to feel like they let one go last week, and I think they're going to be angry for that reason. They obviously have an insanely talented wide receiving core. I made fun of Jamar Chase for not being able to catch a cold in preseason, and he is already a star. So, I think that they're, going to be in good shape. The Lions' offensive line is ridiculously beat up. So the Bengals pass rush, which has improved, should be able to get at Jared Goff. Jared Goff is atrocious when he's under pressure. I mean, he's average when he's not under pressure, and he's horrid when he's under pressure. So I really think the Bengals win this by at least a touchdown. So that's a 2-unit play for me. The next one I have is my Miami Dolphins. I think that they're going to make a statement this game. I believe Tua will be back, and that's why I placed it when it was 3, because I think that when they officially announce he'll be back, the number will move. With the uncertainty with Brissett and nobody really knowing anything about Reed Sinnett, Dolphins fans have been clamoring for him, I'll tell you that. A lot of Dolphins fans wanted him to play over Brissett, so even if they end up having to go with somebody like Reed Sinnett, I still like Miami -3. I think that they got smarter, started using Gaskin a little bit last week. Well, obviously a lot last week, and he had a monster game. I think that he will have a lot of similar opportunities against this Jacksonville defense. I think that they have more and more moved to using Mike Gesicki earlier in the game, and I think that with Parker was, I believe he's been limited all week. I don't think he practiced today. If he did, he was limited. So he might not play. Preston Williams apparently was super limited today. So, I mean, it's going to be Jalen Waddle, Gesicki and Gaskin in the passing game. And, I think that bodes well. I actually think that is advantageous for them as far as forcing them to use Mike Gesicki, who is the best receiver on the team. So, I like the Dolphins. Y'all know I fade Urban Meyer like crazy. I think he's terrible. Can't bully people in this league the way he did in college. Can't bribe people into coming to his school or his team. I mean, you can pay people, but there's caps and things like that. So he doesn't have all of the advantages that he had in college. And, he's a scumbag. So I'll fade the Jags as much as I can as long as he's there. I like Trevor Lawrence a lot. I think if Xavier Howard is able to play and be at reasonable health, because he's also been limited all week and he may not have practiced today, I'll have to check. But if Xavier Howard can, get himself on the field in half decent shape, I think this might be one of those games where, he's had a bit of a slow start, turnover wise, so he might grab a couple. Because that secondary needs to be better, and I think they're going to be really angry, and I think they're going to have a couple of turnovers in that game, and I think the Dolphins are probably going to win it by 6-7 points. So I've got Dolphins -3 for a unit. Pinnacle currently has it at -102. That is the best number I've seen by a bunch. I think the next lowest I've seen is -115. So if you like the Dolphins -3, go get it at Pinnacle right now because they have the best number. My last side for the week is Browns -3 hosting Arizona. I know people love Arizona. I've been waiting to fade Arizona. Their fourth down and red zone numbers, much like a team I'll talk about later who I'm actually taking, but their fourth down and red zone numbers have been phenomenal, and eventually they're going to regress to the mean. They have a ton of injuries as well this week. They've got some defensive injuries. Obviously Kyler is listed as questionable. Hopkins is always hurt. There's always things like that going on with him. He'll always play, and he's Nuke Hopkins. He's one of the best receivers in the game, but he's not at 100%. And honestly, I think the Browns are better. I think the Browns are a better team. They should have won last week. It was a bogus pass interference call, and that ridiculous second last drive where they literally just said, okay, well, we'll just play a little bit, and we're up by 1, so we're not going to try too hard. If they're tied, they go for the field goal, and they probably get it. But because they were up by 1, they went for a really soft play calling, and they deserve what they got. But that said, they're a very good team. Arizona doesn't stop the rush, with the best of them, and Cleveland, in my opinion, and in most statistics, is the best rushing team in the league. There's going to be, seems to be there's going to be a fair amount of wind this weekend in Cleveland, and people talk about, they worry about rain, they worry about snow. Wind is a way bigger factor when it comes to a passing game and a kicking game for that matter. So it's going to be a ground game, and they definitely have a considerably better ground game. So I'm all up in the Browns. -3, the best number you can find right now is -115 at 5 dimes. So that's another play for a unit. If I didn't say so, the Dolphins, Eagles, and Browns plays are all 1 unit. The Cincy play is 2 units. And then my 7-point teaser that I play every week. This week we have the LA Rams moving down to -2.5 versus the Giants. I know it's in New York. They're going to be in trouble without Danny Dimes, without Saquon. They were already a bad enough team. I think that moving this through 7, 6, 4, and 3 is just it's what teasers are made for. So I'm not going to say much more than that. The Rams are a very good team. The Giants are not a very good team. The Giants are beat up like crazy. I think the Rams are going to smash them. So give me that opportunity to bring that number down to 2.5. I'm going to do it all day. Yeah, I also have the Colts -3. I think the Colts are going to feel angry. I think they're going to feel ripped off. I think that they know they should have won that game, and with everything going on in Houston, that Houston's just not a good football team. They the Colts should beat them by a lot, and I think they will beat them by a lot. So, I can't get it through 3 here, which I don't love, but I can still, bring the number down through 7, 6, and 4. And, the Colts seem to be improving. They looked way better in the second half against Miami. The only thing that scares me is that they've started slowly a little bit, a bunch of times. So I worry that maybe they'll, start slowly and then win the game, 24-20 or something like that. But that still covers the 3, so I like them. And then I have the Chargers, who are currently +3. I've moved them to +10. I think 10 points is a heck of a lot of points. I've talked about this, and I am very weary of the Chargers because their fourth down numbers they're 7 out of 8 on fourth down, and the only fourth down that they actually missed was a fake punt. So every time they've actually lined up on fourth down, they've gotten a first down. I do think they were super lucky beating the Browns. I also think the Ravens got super lucky, in that game. I mean, obviously, they're a very talented team. But I just think that getting yourself 10 points with the Chargers is pretty advantageous. You're able to move that line through 3, 4, 6, and 7 again, all the way to double digits. The Ravens have looked good and bad and good and bad. They haven't really smashed anybody, so I think this is a good spot for it. It's a 2-unit play as well. So I'll go through everything. Already played on the Twitter box. The Bengals for 2 units -117 at 365. That number's gone. You can't get it. If you see a 3, jump on it. But I think 3's long gone. I think it might go to 4, maybe even 4.5. I got Miami -3, beating the Jags in England. You can currently get it -102 at Penny. That's for 1 unit. Eagles +7 tonight, -114 at Penny. Browns -3, -115 at 5 dimes. That's for a unit as well. And then my 7-point teaser for 2 units has the Rams going to -2.5, Colts going to -3, and the Chargers going to +10. Last couple things I'll say that I do every single week. Make sure you're being safe. Make sure you're not gambling more than you can afford to gamble with. Just do the right thing. Do the smart thing. Set yourself a proper budget and go that way. Don't ever go crazy. Don't ever go crazy trying to get yourself out of a hole. It never works. You're always going to end up back in the hole at some point. So, keep your system going. If the system you have isn't working, find one that's better. And the last thing that I like to tell everybody, stay the hell away from Barstool Sportsbook. They're crooks. They're criminals. I mean, never mind that they're scumbag human beings, which I love to remind you about every week, misogynistic pieces of garbage. And Portnoy is one of the most two-faced, pretending to be an average Joe when he is one of the biggest scumbags, specifically for running this sportsbook. He's a horrible human being. The sportsbook is crooked. Don't put your money in it. Don't give them your money. They're horrible. Don't do it. Otherwise, guys, let's have another week of winners. 6 weeks in a row would be amazing. And thanks so much, guys, for watching. And we'll talk to you soon.